Okay, Borg Cube update, and we've now got 3 panels glued together. Now it's the first time I've ever done this with a resin kit. I've made lots of plastic kits but not resin, so I'm learning as I go. I'm using Evo Stick Rapid there, which is a 5-minute epoxy, but what I've done is glued each panel together. There's a lot of preparation to get these nice and smooth. He says, Mr. I've not done that one particularly well, but pretty smooth. I've left a little bit of a texture there because I figured that would help key the 2 pieces together. So I've glued them all, given them time to harden, more than the 5 minutes they want. But then what I've done is I've then gone back and mixed a shed load more glue up, and I've put a bead of epoxy resin over the inside, and this was after it had set. So there's so I'm gluing this face of each side piece, gluing them together, letting it set, holding it as square as I possibly can, in the hopes that it's all going to set properly. And then once it's set, I'm then going back, and as I did here, I'm then reinforcing it on the inside with a really thick bead of glue, to really reinforce those corners. And depending on how it goes, might do another one. I'm not sure how much strength or strengthening this is going to need. But what I think I'll do now is, now I've got the 3 sides together, so it's half of it, I'm going to wash it all out again, and I'm going to get some primer in there, and then the plan is to paint the inside white. I'm not going to use fibre optics or anything like that. I'm going to just paint the whole of the inside white so it's maximum reflection, and then I'm going to use one of these the other day. This is a whole reel of I think this is the green, and I'm going to basically stick some of the green LED tape in and around here. Okay, update time on the Borg Cube. We have 5 sides all connected up now. It's getting kind of heavy. There's a lot of resin in this kit. But so far so good. It's all looking pretty square. Just got to literally just glue this top one in, so you can see a little bit of glue on the edges there, so that just wants a little bit of a clean up once it's dry, and then blending in like I've done with the others. It's all primered white on the inside, so that when I do put some light in there, I'll get maximum glow out of it, like so. In fact, if we stick that in there, you get some idea. We've got some little holes in the side there, which you may or may not be able to see, I don't know. But anyway, it gives you an idea. Yeah, the glue is a bit transparent, so obviously the glue is going to need to be dried, but that's the idea. So we're going to have lots of light in there. Lots of holes. The light's going to be green actually, rather than white in true Borg style. So there you go. All done with 5-minute epoxy so far, and then once it's glued, then I put a really thick reinforcing bead in behind it. So that's it at the moment. We're getting there. I'm gonna try and put the escape tube in here, which will have some lights in there as well, and of course there'll be the Borg sphere in there. So more updates to come. Hi everyone. Okay, update on the Borg Cube. What I've done is I've got it set up on the bench here. I've put some strip lighting, green strip lighting in, 4 strips of 1, 2, 3 units of strips. So there's quite a few green LEDs in there. I've got the cube all built, all bar the final the final side, and we've got the escape tube that's gone in there, which we can have the little Borg sphere either in there or looking like it's coming out of. Now I'm just going to zoom in a little bit on here, and I'm going to show you what I'm doing next. It's very difficult to drill lights in these things because it's very thick and you can't really see where you've drilled because of all the detail. So what I've done is I've just set it up to a test power supply. So I'm going to turn that on. I'm just going to show you what I'm actually doing for this. So what I'm doing is I've got it lit, I'm turning some of the lights off, and drilling a hole so that I can see the green coming through, and I can see instantly where they are. I can start to cluster them together, get them to look okay. I'll put a couple more here. And then I'm going to break the camera loose from the tripod, and what we can do is we can just have a look over. So we've now got a few little green lights just starting to show through. We've got some through there in the little escape tunnel as well. Got some around the edge just to try and give it a little bit of depth. Drilled those obviously before it went together. I might add a few more, we'll see. Can always use a bit of canopy glue to stop that. Sometimes when you see an LED straight through a hole, it does that there. Look, that looks a bit wrong. But that gives you a rough idea. So we're just starting to drill a few little holes, a few little shapes in there. There's not many in there. I'll do a few more here and I'll come back and show you a little update, but this is how I'm gonna get an idea of the grouping, because the lights on these Borg cubes, they're quite often in little sort of clusters of lights. They're not sort of, sometimes you get individual ones and you get little clusters, it looks like a little area is lit, but it's nothing too overpowering. From certain angles you can't even see it. It's only when you sort of look more directly at it like that you actually are aware of it even. So more updates to follow. Okay, there's a few more holes in there. We just got a little bit more of a green sort of illuminated in places Borg cube. So anyway, just a little tip for anyone building it. It's quite a good way. Light it, make sure you know where your lighting strips are so you're not going to drill through them, and then you can sort of drill it when it's lit, and you can get an idea on that, on how it's building up. Okay, that's a few more drilled. What I'm going to try and do now, if I can do it without shorting this out, is try and rotate it. It's funny, when you drill this stuff, as you drill through, a little puff of smoke comes out the inside. It's obviously the way the material acts. We've got quite a bit of stuff on the surface there from all the drilling. Okay, right, so we've put some in a couple of sides, so I'm going to try and rotate this towards the camera and see if it shows up the way we want it to. And what I think I'll do is turn the big light off. Do that again and see what it looks like. Just to get a rough idea. So hopefully that's in frame. I'm just going to slowly rotate the cube. Hoping that you get to see some green light sticking through in places.